Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Some of us are at it again. Some of y'all are gracefully off this week. But yeah, we ain't off this week round here. I wish though. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear your boy. Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know. Ew, ew, Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, cool, 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 cool. Y'all come on in, and as you guys come in, please make sure you double tap the screen. Okay, please make sure you double tap the screen. It is greatly, greatly appreciated if you guys double tap the screen. Okay. All right, let me speak to y'all and then we're going to get started. What's going on, Mama Bees? What it do? What it do? Good morning, Miss Misha. Good morning, Miss Lori. Good morning, Miss Felicia. Good morning. Um, yes, I see you, DHP. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Miss Gina. Let me see. Mocha Drop. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to the other Miss Felicia. Let's see who else up in here. Good morning, C. Patterson. Good morning, El Govan. Good morning. We got another Miss Felicia in the chat. I see y'all. Nitwit, Miss Linda Marshall, 79 Wishes. Misha. Good morning. 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 Hope y'all doing all right. Hope y'all doing all right. This weekend, honey, we was on the town. I ran myself ragged all the weekend long. So I'm gonna give y'all an update on what we're gonna be doing, and then we're gonna get into everything. Hey little baby, what's going on? What's going on, Miss Cheryl? What's going on? Kate Calloway, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Tap that screen as y'all come on in. Let me see. Is this what I need? All right, let me pin your message, Miss Olivia. Actually, it's not old news. This was just filed on 11/20 of 2025. That's not old news. See, see, here's the thing. When she filed her original lawsuit, it was just a complaint filed in a court. It didn't go nowhere. Or it was a complaint filed by her lawyers. It didn't go nowhere. What's going on, Mama V? What's going on? Good morning, good morning. Um, And I mean, I answered you. I answered you. Hey, Miss Tiffany. Um, I mean, I didn't sleep with you last night, Miss Olivia. So good morning. Good morning. How you doing? You doing okay? You doing all right? Did you have a great weekend? That's all I'll be asking. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. And speaking, have a good morning. You're passive aggressive. I mean, you did come in here and didn't speak though. Isn't this old news? So if it did come off a little bit passive aggressive, I think it's okay. You speak, and then we get into the things. All right. Sorry, it came out passive aggressive to you. If that's what I was being, that's what I was being. Y'all know how we do over here. Before you get up in here and ask any kind of questions, it's okay for you to speak. It's all right. It's all right. It is okay for the people to speak when you first come in here first before we get to asking questions. So my passive aggressiveness, that's the reason for it. Good morning, everybody. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. By the way, this is new information. This is new information. Matter of fact, her original complaint was only a page and a half. This complaint is 61 pages. So no, it's not the same thing at all. All right. Hey, that lady 1982. What's up? What's up? Okay, so let me give you guys an update on what we're doing for the Thanksgiving holiday, and then we'll get into Kenneka Jenkins' mother, and then we'll get into this lawsuit. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you guys so much for your donations for the plates. So we're gonna feed the homeless on Thanksgiving. It's just me and Neff here. And so what I wanted to make sure that I done was give back in some sort of way. And I think the easiest thing was preparing a Thanksgiving meal, heading down to the place where the homeless are most of the time, and provide those meals for them. Hot meals, some cold pop, some water, all of the good things, just to make sure that they're good, right? And so I do want to say I appreciate everyone who has contributed to that to make this happen. Okay. To make this happen. Now listen, I I would so here's the thing. Yes, we are still yes, we are still taking donations, okay? The grocery stores is gooped and gagged with these turkeys and hams and stuff like that. So yes, we are still taking donations. So throughout this live, even if you send a donation directed towards me, it's going to feed the homeless. Okay. So any donations during this live is going for that specific reason, to make sure that we get all of our final things so that way we can feed quite a few people. On So right now, I think that we will be able to feed 65 people. That's the target. Okay. Um, right now, right now, everything that you guys have done, it has allowed me to be able to feed about 65 people. Okay. So again, if you donate throughout this live at any point, that's exactly where it's gonna go to. And we're gonna let's go ahead and set a goal. Let me see here. Um, so we'll set because I don't think that this is impossible. This is not impossible. Because if we get 7 people to bless with $10, $12, somewhere up in there, we'll get to $75. Okay. So let me do this right here. All right. So again, thank you to those of you who have blessed. Couldn't do this without y'all. So thank you so much. So we'll pin this to the top. This will just let us add more plates as we because I am gonna get another turkey. It's just now that the turkeys are a little bit more expensive than the 2 original turkeys that I bought. And the 2 hams that I bought, yeah, they're a little bit more expensive now. So I'll be going to do that as soon as I get off work today. So again, if you guys give throughout this live, that's where it is going to. All right. Good morning, D-Side Eye Sage. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, ring the doorbell when you come in here. Hey, Miss Brooklyn. Because I speak to all my people. So it's only right. I didn't sleep with nobody in this chat last night. So it's okay to speak. It's okay to speak. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this Kenneka Jenkins situation, because I am starting to see this Kenneka Jenkins situation come back to life or come back. I know that, and if you guys don't remember Kenneka Jenkins was the young lady who they found, I believe they found her in the refrigerator right in Chicago, in a Chicago hotel. Y'all know that the mother, there was a lawsuit filed against the mother, and I believe she was awarded $10 million, right? And of course, lawyers got to get they cut. Everybody got to get their cut from that. But I know that the internet is dragging her, and I didn't know why, but I finally saw the post in which I guess spark this. She decided to come out and speak. So we're gonna get into that. Hey Sheridan Boo, what's up? Good morning. It's so crazy because I was about to send you all the posts by please still send them. Send them. Please send them if you can. Please still send them because I just realized that I went live on the phone that I took the screenshots on. But you can send them and they'll go to my iPad and then I can pull them up. If you still here and you got them, please. Because I just realized, I was like, oh my God. I was going to go to Facebook because I think I shared it. I mean, not shared it, but saved it on Facebook. Because that's originally where I seen all of the talk, was over on Facebook first. And then I went over to Instagram and I started seeing them share it on Instagram directly. Wait a minute, who is this? Teresa Martin begged Chicago activists and those connected to him to harm her and not to harm her and her family. Who is Teresa Martin? Oh, this is Teresa Martin is Kenneka Jenkins' mom. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. What is this? Okay, see, this new. Okay, I logged in on Facebook. This is the very first thing I saw. Y'all, this situation between Teresa Martin, Kenneka Jenkins' mom, and Chicago activist Jadea, is that how you say his name? Jadea Brown, is getting messy. In a post today, Teresa apologizes for anything Jadea or Jediah, I don't know how to say his name, and CP Nim believe she said, but then openly admits that she is afraid for her life and her family's safety, begging Judea, I know I'm saying that wrong, and anyone connected to him not to bring harm to her or her loved ones. She even says that if it will end this situation, she says that he was right and she was wrong. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna mess it up. I know I'm gonna mess it up, and I promise. I mean, I don't mean no harm. I promise you, I don't mean no harm. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so here's the post. Public statement from for CP Nim, Mr. Brown. I'm gonna just say Mr. Brown respectfully because I don't want to keep messing up his name. I want to sincerely apologize to Mr. Brown and CP Nim for anything he believes I may have said or done to offend him. From the bottom of my heart, that was never my intention. I need to express this openly. I am afraid for my life and for the safety of my family. I am respectfully asking Mr. Brown and anyone connected to him to please not bring any harm to me or any of the members of my family. I see what is happening on my page and I am addressing it publicly so that the world can see my request for peace and safety. If it brings this situation to an end, I will say that you were right and I was wrong. You win. I just want this to stop. I want peace and not conflict. Now this is from Teresa Martin. This is again Kenneka Jenkins' mom. Okay. All right. So let me give y'all some background. Hold on one second. Let me do this really quick though. Let me go to her original post. All right. So the people are saying, let me tell y'all why the people mad. So the people is allegedly mad because remember Kenneka Jenkins' mother took a $10 million settlement, right? And so what the internet is basically eating her up for is the fact that she is coming out now and speaking about the situation 6 years later, and she received that settlement. So it's almost like they're saying she sold her daughter out. It's kind of like what the internet is saying. So let's get into her original post. This is her original post. She said, "To whom this may concern, I still don't know what happened to my child, what happened to my child's life. Clothes, shoes, cell phone, hair, and the list goes on. However, I have been promised lies as if once this case is over, I was forced to never talk about my child again. As you can see, over the years, I wasn't near I wasn't near as vocal as I am today. So after this post, I might be back in court. But I will be getting sued because I was tricked by they will get answers. Give me her clothes and her cell phone and anything that belongs to her when she died that was on her body. That was a lie. Once they finished investigating allegedly people I trusted, they told me that somehow Kenneka got out the back door. I never heard how which door could get. Wait a minute. They told me that somehow Kay got out the back door, and I never heard how which door could get out, but they never told me how or where. Okay, that was a little bit confusing to me, but okay, that was a little bit confusing to me. Oh, okay. Mm. Okay. Allegedly, they never told the media. That's why I know the media will lie allegedly. So I can invite any of you to go. I was in pain going through my cancer battles, and they forced us, had us in rooms for hours, and would not let us go until we said what they wanted us to say. They made us that accept what they wanted to give us, and I'm literally living without my child, and I am raising above, staying strong, and holding on to hope even without you. PS, I was made to do a recorded video hours after we were held during one of my child's birthdays. At the time, I was sitting in a meeting about another child who wasn't even living. F them. I had nothing to give my baby that day, but I knew a surprise was waiting once we left that meeting. Before the rain came down hard, I stayed quiet long enough, but at this point, I'm simply speaking my truth respectfully, clearly, and without naming anyone. Now, let's make Americans great and try to tell someone with honor that they told me just go on and live my life. Peace be still. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I ain't understand nothing she's saying. I'ma just be honest. I ain't understand nothing I read, y'all. And I promise y'all, I'm not exaggerating when I read that. Y'all know I ain't the best reader. I'm not. But baby, that was kerfuffled all over the place. Okay. She was just like jambled all over the place. That was kind of crazy. Okay, so she's basically saying that they kept her quiet. It's kind of sound like they made her whenever she took that settlement, or maybe even before she took that settlement, it sounds like they was keeping things from her, according to her. And then it sounds like after the settlement, maybe there was a non-disclosure agreement. Maybe there was something where she couldn't talk about anything after that, which is typically how settlement works. If you get a settlement, most of the time they want you to shut up. They don't want you to bring it back up. They don't want you doing interviews. They don't want you to be in the media. That's typically how they do. And the only reason why I know that is because of a death that happened to someone in my hometown. And I knew that with that family, they once they took that settlement, they signed something that would say when they took it that they could no longer speak on the situation at all. So I don't think it's far-fetched that after you took that settlement that they told you not to speak on, even though it's your daughter. They do it to everybody. They do it to people, whether it's their daughter, mama, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, uncle, papa, mama, whoever it is. When you take a settlement, that's the risk that you take, right? It's as unfortunate as it sounds, and I hope I'm not coming off dismissive about the situation, but that's typically what they do. So I, that to me is crazy. But then she gets down in the comments and she's like, um, she's like, oh, y'all made this post go viral, but when my daughter was unalive, y'all to make it go viral. Ma'am, that story was everywhere, so that's not true. That's not true. I just think back then, that was what, 2017, 2018. Back then, they ain't doing stuff like they doing on the internet now. You put somebody on the internet now, they know all them folks' business within 5 minutes, sometimes less than that. So I think now the internet is just in a different era as to what it was back then. And believe me, back then, your daughter's story was going everywhere. And I don't know if y'all remember, but I think this was what, last year or the year before. It wasn't. I know a lot of people say that the Shanquilla Robinson story reminded them a lot of Kenneka Jenkins' story, but it was even like a year ago when Kenneka Jenkins' story was resurfacing. Like everybody was talking about it on YouTube, everybody was talking about it on TikTok. It was just like this thing where it just like reappeared and everybody started talking about it again. So I don't necessarily think that this is the only one, and you telling us fuck us because now it's going viral. Well, I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's weird, y'all. I'm sorry, but the mama, I got questions about the mama. If I didn't speak to y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning, April, good morning, Boo, good morning, Bama girl, good morning, Miss Shondelin, good morning, everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. If y'all here with me, talk to me, talk to me. Talk to me, because I thought this was strange. Kenneka's friends are literally still getting threatened and trolled about her death till this very day, and they had nothing to do with it, and that's crazy. I hate this. I hate this situation because I think that this is one of those situations that will never, unfortunately, it will never die down. It would never get to a place to where people aren't. I don't think so, at least. I don't think so. And I think, Sheridan, and this is just my opinion, and y'all could correct me if y'all think I'm wrong, but I think that the mom is going to be adding to that. I do. Her coming out saying this stuff again, it is natural. You are asked to not discuss anything when it comes to your settlement. You're not even supposed to disclose the amount. You're not even supposed to disclose if it's getting dispersed amongst family members, amongst who it's getting dispersed among. Like, you're not even supposed to have those conversations. So I feel like when you come out and you kind of throw this blanket out there, right? You throw this blanket out there, it does kind of make you look a certain type of way. And I kind of understand why the internet is going the way the internet is at her, because I don't think it changes anything. And I'm going to say this. Where did the man allegedly threaten her at? And there's people like in the comments, they keep saying, there's not enough money in this world that will make me stay silent about my kids. I wouldn't have took the settlement. You took the settlement and the agreement was made. I'm telling y'all, same thing. Um, any agreement under emotional, financial, and any other is not legally binding agreement. You can't use that. You unfortunately cannot use that because anybody can say believe me, that there is a clause in that settlement that was signed that says that you cannot use that. And here's the reason why you can't use that. Anybody who just lost a family member, you cannot say that they aren't distressed. So therefore, if they sign any type of settlement, they could come back with saying that. I'm sure that there's a clause in that will allow you to not be able to use that as a claim. I'm no attorney and I'm no lawyer, but I don't think because I think if that was the case, there could be a whole lot of people that could say, oh, I filled this out under distress and it no longer matters because I filled it out under this. Y'all see what I'm saying? I don't think that I think that there's a protection clause in there in that settlement that you signed that says that you cannot say, hey, I signed this under distress, or I signed this under stress, or I was grieving, or I was doing. I don't think that's going to work. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's gonna work like that. Okay. Um, Maybe we got some attorneys in the chat, or we got somebody that know how that works, then sound off or whatever. But I just using my common sense, I would think that anytime y'all better relax in there. But I would think that any parent can use that, or any family member can use, oh, I signed this and I was stressed out, I was grieving, I was doing this. I don't think you can do that. And again, that's just me. But if y'all think I'm wrong, y'all can let me know. I was literally watching this roll out. He never threatened this lady. Wow. Wow. I believe it, Sheridan. I believe it. Because I'm telling you, I definitely was side-eyeing the mom. I'm definitely side-eyeing her, because again, you and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Then I question who you hired as an attorney to not advise you of these things before you sign that agreement, before you sign that settlement. And again, I see why the internet is chewing you up about signing the settlement, because it's almost like I sell all the answers to my daughter's death with $10 million. With $10 million, I have just said, y'all don't even have to worry about it no more. So again, this fall back on her. And I hate that anybody is getting threatened behind this. I hate that is the thing right now, 6 years later. But again, like I said, I think this is one of those situations where she's saying, oh, y'all didn't make it go viral back then, and this. No, that is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. Everybody talked about the Kenneka Jenkins story. That is a lie. There were people that was doing the same thing when it came to Shanquilla Robinson. We was playing detective. I ain't gonna even sit up here and hold y'all. I know when it came to Shanquilla, I was playing detective like I was down there in Cabo St. Lucas with the people that got a seat next to Lucifer. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. And the same thing happened with Kenneka Jenkins, because I remember it. I remember people getting online, having these long lives, these long Facebook lives. That was when Facebook was really popping back then. Facebook lives where they was acting like they was detectives and trying to piece things together and slowing down videos and listening to the background and looking at body language and looking into glasses and stuff. I will never forget when they was looking into that girl's shades. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. She might be yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting by the way she talked. Hey Shay, what's going on? If you weren't emotionally ready to deal with the tragedy, I completely understand taking the settlement, but don't come back and act like somebody did something to you. That's my thing. I think that's why the internet is eating her up. It's like you want to blame everybody else now, but you took it. You took it. And yes, granted, I do get that you're emotional, that at the end of the day, this is your daughter, that you gave birth to her. At the end of the day, I'm not taking that away. I just feel like the way that you're going about doing this and trying to blame it and put it on everybody else is crazy. And then to also say that I have been asked not to speak, ma'am, it was a part of the settlement agreement. And that's just that on that, honey. I don't know, y'all, but we're going to keep an eye on everything that is going on, child, because I don't think it's going to ease up no time soon. Ooh, it's given that you spent all that money. Now, I'm also say this too, Sheridan. Now, I ain't said Sheridan. The internet said it, okay? The internet said it, sis, not me. But the internet said, why did she come out a few days after the mom got jumped around there in Chicago? Why she the people say that you trying to take that Chicago mother's shine and stuff. That's what the people said. I didn't say it, but the people said it. I didn't say it. The people said that. The people saying that on the internet, child, they eating you up in your own comments with that. Surely is. They saying that you coming out here looking for a little shine right before the holidays and stuff like that, and right after that lady got jumped by them kids. That's what the people said. That's what the people said. I didn't say it. People said it. I didn't say it. The people said it. Doesn't some settlements normally? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was saying I didn't understand how she is saying now. Oh, they made me be quiet. They made me. Anytime you got a settlement like that, and especially if it's millions, they are going to tell you can't speak. They're going to tell you can't do interviews. They're going to tell you you can't talk to nobody over the phone about it. You can't do none of that. And they could take you right to court, and they can put a judgment on that entire $10 million that you damn, if you spend all that money, let me tell you something. They are going to require, they're probably going to, if you go back to court and they find you guilty of anything breaching that agreement, honey, they can put a judgment on you for $10 million. And not only that, but that particular judgment will come with interest. I'm only telling y'all this because I know somebody who went through this. Back in my hometown. She's literally using scripture. I saw that, shared it. I saw that. That rubs me the wrong way. I hate when people do that. Hey, Janai, I hate when people do that. I hate when people do that. You use all these scriptures out of context. And but child, I can't. Y'all, please, we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna keep an eye on it. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, y'all ready to go on and get into this here lawsuit? Thank you so much. I did get a catch up. Hold on. So that means we $60 away from our goal. In case if you guys are just joining us on Thanksgiving, we are feeding the homeless on Thanksgiving because it's just me and nephew here. So I'ma head out and feed the homeless for Thanksgiving. So for those of you that send any type of donations or anything like that, it is going to feeding the homeless. She literally, okay, I read that using scripture. Yeah, all out of context. Child, I cannot. But yeah, the internet gonna keep eating her up. And yes, it has finally made all the blogs. It's on the Neighborhood Talk. I believe it's on the Shade Room. I believe it's on any one of these blogs that if y'all want to go read it for yourself and get a headache, you can go over there and do it. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this Brittany, Eady, and Truly Original, Brit Eady lawsuit against Truly Original and Bravo Media LLC. And just to add a little bit more context to this, again, this was filed 4 days ago. This was filed Friday. Wait, was Friday the 20th? Why I can't ever pull up my calendar on my computer? No, Thursday. The 20th was Thursday. So that's when she filed this. She filed this on Thursday. Okay, so we're going to get into it. All right. Now, I think it's important for us to read the introduction to this. I think it's important almost to read this. We'll just skip the parties part where it tells us where NBC Universal is. It tells us where all that blah, 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 blah. If y'all don't remember correctly, I don't know if Miss Olivia is still here or not, but Miss Olivia asked, is this old news? Right? She asked if this was old news. So if y'all can remember correctly, when Brit Eady first did this, she was actually on the complaint. She had Truly Original, NBC Universal, Bravo, and she had 10 Jane Does on here, or Jane Does, or however they say it. Jane Does, John Does, whatever, or Does 1 through 10, I think is what it says, something like that. Does 1 through 10. Okay. Now she has actually filed a correct lawsuit because she never even served those people in that first complaint. So it's just like it was just sitting in the computer. Let's just put it that way. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Give me a chef emoji, a thumbs up, or something if you're ready, honey. Let me know if you're ready. Let me know if you're ready. Let me know. Let me know. Hey, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I gotta get my water over here and everything. Oh wow, I have shared it. I don't know if she's still in here, but listen, Dallas. If you are in Dallas, I need y'all to get y'all tickets. December the 7th. It's going down in Dallas. Okay, it is going down in Dallas. I got a radio. Speaking of that, I have a radio interview on Friday. So shout out to the radio interview for Friday for our Dallas event. I'm excited. So if you're in Dallas and you want to go, get you a ticket, honey. I need to see you in the building. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, anyway. Y'all ready? All right, look like y'all ready. Thumbs up. Thank you, Shay, for the jewels. I appreciate it. Janai, I see you. Naturally be yourself said, I love the singing chef child, you know. Little baby ready, Mocha Drop ready, April ready, Mama Bees is ready. All right. Let's get into it. Lady Fee, Miss Shelley, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. All right, so let's get into the introduction of this case. This case concerns defendants. Sexual harassment of plaintiff Brittany Eady, a castmate on season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. In June of 2024, Eady was the victim of her castmate's brazen attempt to so-called revenge porn. Specifically, the castmate published to a group of hundreds of live onlookers, including defendants' cameras, a photograph of a woman engaged in graphic sexual acts and told the audience that the woman was Eady. Defendants immediately knew the castmate's behavior was atrocious and wrong, and that Eady had no reason to expect anything like it. The other castmates that were present were horrified and left the event immediately. An unsurprising reaction given that nothing similar had occurred on The Real Housewives before. Defendants have made the unprecedented decision to suspend the offending castmate mid-season because of it. Yet, despite initially recognizing the depravity of the castmate's sexual harassment of Eady, and in the face of Eady's repeated pleas of not releasing this information, defendants ultimately made this disgusting decision to leverage it at Eady's great expense. They pressured Eady to discuss the incident and her actual history on camera and in front of her own mother, no less. And when Eady pushed back and invoked her legal rights, they retaliated against her. Rather than protecting Eady from the harmful effects of her co-workers' sexual harassment, defendants chose to amplify the event and repeatedly re-traumatize Eady with it. Over months, defendants traded on the graphically actual nature of the events to coerce Eady into traumatic workplace decision of her life's most intimate sexual moments. This was not The Real Housewives as usual. It was sexual harassment. Oh, I can't be saying that word. Sexual harassment, and it was retaliation. And Eady brings this case to the whole defendants to account for their horrific behavior. All right. That was paragraph number 1. The graphic porno photo is issue appeared to depict a woman performing fellatio on an unidentified man and was presented to a group of about 200 live onlookers by a fellow castmate on the show, Kenya Moore. Moore represented to the audience, and the audience believed that the woman in the photograph was Brit Eady, but it was not. A fact that Eady did not come to learn until nearly a year later. Moore and Eady were at the time embroiled in a interpersonal dispute, and the presentation of a photograph was a classic attempt at RP, otherwise known as the non-consensual intimate image sharing. Girl, child, revenge corn has a late hold on, sorry y'all. Hold on. Okay. Revenge corn has of late garnered significant attention nationwide due to how bad it is, leading to laws around the country punishing its use, including under federal New York and Georgia law. Okay. So side note, NBC Universal Bravo, they're all headquartered in New York, honey. In attendance at the event were nearly a dozen of defendants, camera people who had been filming for content to air on the show and had captured Moore's presentation of the pornographic photos. Defendants knew immediately that Moore's presentation of that photo was beyond the pale. It was hugely improper and well beyond the show's standards, expectations, and stated sexual harassment policies. Indeed, just a week after the event, i.e. a year before they made any decisions as to whether they would air the event on the show, defendants conducted an internal investigation into Moore's conduct, which led them to suspend Moore from the show. Now, again, to those of you that said that, it wasn't an investigation, because, back then, Team Tour, they wanted to argue down. So they did do an internal investigation, even according to Brit Eady in her lawsuit. Further, Eady repeatedly informed defendants of her view that Moore's conduct was harassing and unlawful and that she intended to seek legal relief. Despite defendants' immediate sorry. I just thought about something else with this. So, Brit told Bravo, or told production, which is, I'm guessing, why they conducted a investigation. She basically told them, based off of what we just read, she told them that she was going to sue them if they aired it, before they aired it, according to what we just read. Okay, hold on. Okay, cool. According to what we just read. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, despite defendants, this, oh my God, why is the spite whooping my ass this morning? Golly. I'm talking about Kenneka Jenkins' mama, but despite is whipping my tongue's ass. Do y'all hear me? Okay. Despite defendants' immediate appreciation that the presentation of the pornographic photo was improper and beyond the bounds of the show's standards or any workplace. However, defendants made the decision at the heart of this lawsuit that they decided to leverage Moore's attempt at revenge P at Eady's great expense, specifically over Eady's persistent objection that they pursued Eady to discuss the incident and her actual history with the show's producers in front of the show's cameras. They sought to gaslight Eady into thinking that it was her interest to discuss these highly personal actual issues. So now she blaming it on production and not herself. Okay. How does she have a case if it's not her? Well, I think that's what this is about. I think that's what this is about. So we're gonna keep reading. Okay, they sought to gaslight Eady into thinking that it was her interest to discuss these highly personal actual issues. They told her it could be just like the Kardashian X tape, meaning that Eady should use the hypersexualized exposure to obtain further publicity for herself. They said in sum and substance that she should get it all out and take control of the narrative, because the better we get this out, the better the fans will understand and have empathy for you. When Eady pushed back and said that she wanted no parts of this, defendants effectively said that if she did not discuss the incident on camera, she would face less and potentially no camera time, and she may lose out on pay, because again, if you ain't present, you don't get paid. At first, Eady, she thought about it. She thought about the pressure and ultimately decided her most intimate, personal, sexual moments with defendant producers in front of their cameras was a no-go. Defendants thereafter chose to air many of these decisions to the world, again, despite their recognition that Moore's conduct was beyond the show's standards, expectations, and policies. All the while, defendants continually rejected Eady's efforts to investigate the incident herself, even refusing to allow her to see the photograph that Moore presented, which would have revealed to Eady that the photograph was not even her, and or that it was not deep fake. Okay, so this is what I'm getting from Ms. Sheridan. Basically, what she's saying that the show misrepresented. The show basically made it go on to make it seem like it was her, knowing that it wasn't her all this time, not letting her see the photograph. Well, they knew that it wasn't her. She's saying she didn't find out until after the show aired that it wasn't her in the photograph, which would have been the time around the reunion, right? And so she basically saying that the internet and everybody got a chance to eat her up and chew her up about something that wasn't even her. That's basically, I guess, why she's suing. She's pretty much saying, like, y'all ruined my reputation, but it didn't have to ruin my reputation because it wasn't me. Y'all got it. Hey, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Good morning, Miss Ty. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. So I think that's hopefully that helped everybody. But I think that's what she's more so suing for than anything. Okay, let's keep going. Then defendants twisted the knife in another display of actual harassment and retaliation. They told Eady that they were planning to invite Moore back to the show for the following season, and that if Eady herself wanted to be on the show next season, it would mean that she would have to do so alongside Moore, her harasser. Child. Enough was enough. Shortly thereafter, Eady announced that she will not be returning to the show. So why didn't they ask Kenya to come back if that was the case? Maybe that's just what they told Brit. Because why Kenya couldn't come back the next season, this coming up season 17, if that was the case, if Brit Eady ain't on the show no more? Make things to make you wonder. I'm just saying. No one would dispute the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise trades on drama and highly interpersonal drama, but it has never traded on this type of graphic actual drama before. For obvious reasons, it is disgusting, beyond the pale, and illegal. No one signing up to appear on the Real Housewives would expect it, and Eady certainly did not. Defendants have no immunity from sexual harassment and anti-retaliation prohibitions, however you say that. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And their conduct unquestionably fits within them. Eady brings this action under those laws, and um, she is suing, you are right, little baby, for intentional affliction of emotional distress, breach of contract and negligence, and to hold defendants accountable for their unlawful and unjustifiable actions. Okay, so we don't care about the venue. Yeah, we don't care about the venue. I think this is in New York. Yep. Okay, parties. Yeah, this is filed in a United States District Court, Southern District of New York. Okay, and again, because Bravo and Truly Original is headquartered in New York. Okay, so let's get to the factual allegations. Okay, we don't care about the parties. Statements of facts. Let's go, baby. Statements of facts. Let's get into it. All right, The Real Housewives of Atlanta is a franchise of a reality television programs that features castmates of prominent women in various cities. The programs follow the social lives, business dealings, and relationships of cast members and often focus on interpersonal drama between each cast member. While arguments between cast members are common, the tenor of the franchise is generally lighthearted and depicts the lives of women who lead glamorous lives. As a general matter, the show's context is not sexualized or pornographic in nature. Despite the show's use of the term housewives to describe its cast members, the women featured on the show often have prominent careers and that are featured heavily on the show. On Information and Belief, The Real Housewives franchise premiered in or around March of 2006. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, RHOA, is a reality television series within the Housewives franchise that follows a cast of women based in Atlanta, Georgia. RHOA is produced by Defendants Truly and airs on Defendant Bravo's television network. Defendants Truly and Bravo retain casting agencies to find and audition participants to appear on RHOA. On Information and Belief, RHOA premiered in or around 2008. Defendants Truly and Bravo exert a high degree of control over the actions of producers on its programming, including RHOA, regardless of whether the producers are employees, agents, and or contractors of defendants. Defendants actively pursue Eady to become to become a RHOA cast member. Prior to her appearance on RHOA, Eady was a prominent and successful businesswoman in Atlanta. She previously modeled and appeared in music videos and at all relevant times ran an insurance business for high-end luxury clients and coached others in the insurance industry. In 2021, a friend of Eady's who had appeared on a different housewife franchise referred her to the casting director. Who the hell was that? Do we know who that was on another show? I wonder who that was. But anyway, Eady had rarely, if ever, watched RHOA, but was familiar with the premise and had heard of many of the cast members. Excuse me. Eady had multiple calls with RHOA casting directors and representatives from RHOA casting agencies, but was initially told that the agency would not move forward with casting process because Eady was too young. 2 years later, however, in August of 2023, a different casting agency contacted Eady by text about the potential of her auditioning for RHOA. The casting agency outreach to Eady was unsolicited. At the time, Eady decided that she did not want to appear on RHOA. In August of 2023, Eady replied to the casting agent and stated that this was not a good time for her to appear on the show because she was starting a business and was very weary of potential or bad press and reputational damage. In November of 2023, the casting agency again reached out to Eady and asked Eady if she was interested in interviewing for RHOA. At this time, Eady agreed to participate in the show's process. The casting agency connected Eady to Diana von Mangowskis, or whoever, the casting director for RHOA. On information and belief, Von was at all relevant times an employee or agent of Divergent Content, a casting and development company that specializes in unscripted content, including reality television. On information and belief, one or both defendants retained Divergent Content to cast potential participants for season 16 of RHOA and authorize Divergent Content to act as its agent and make representation to potential participants about the show, including the associate talent contracts. In November of 2023, Eady participated in a Zoom interview with Michaela Martinez and Kiera Complin, who, on information and belief, were all relevant times employees or agents of at least one of the defendants and were casting producers of RHOA. At that time, Eady was asked about her knowledge of the housewife, social circles, TV experiences, jobs, relationship status, reasons for wanting to join the show, and thoughts on the cast on the show currently. During the November 2023 interview, Eady asked the casting producers about the possibility of fights and drama between cast members. Eady stated that she was nervous about appearing on the show because of the potential of fighting amongst the cast members. Martinez and Complin stated on this Zoom call, however, that the upcoming season would be a reboot and a new vibe and more lighthearted, fun and flirty and glamorous. And previous seasons, and that the show was moving away from the high drama content. After Eady's initial interview, Eady was selected to move forward in the casting process. In January of 2024, Eady participated in an additional interview over Zoom with executive producers Lauren Lawson, Lauren, I'm just saying these people's first name, Lauren, Glenda, and Kamar. On information and belief at all relevant times, Lorraine was employed by defendants Truly as a special vice president of programming. On information and belief, at all relevant times, Lauren was employed by defendants Truly Original as an executive vice president of programming. And on information and belief, at all relevant times, Glenda was employed by Truly, and all relevant times, Kamir was also he was employed by Bravo. During the January 2024 interview, the above named producers asked Eady about her background, family dynamics, relationship history, and how she would interact with other housewives. During the January 2024 interview, the above named producers also again represented to Eady that the upcoming season would be lighthearted and fun, and that it would be the biggest shakeup RHOA had in its 15 years, and that it was a reboot for the show. After the January 2024 interview, Eady participated in at least 2 additional interviews with producers of RHOA. On information and belief, each producer that Eady met with was employed by both defendants, and the defendants in this case is Bravo and Truly Original. After the third interview, Eady was asked to participate in a chemistry test filming in February of 2024. For the chemistry test filming, executives from defendants Truly and Bravo were to fly from New York City to Atlanta to meet Eady in person and spend a day filming her and her husband. Prior to the chemistry test, Eady was provided by defendants Truly an agreement that would govern the terms of the chemistry test filming. The chemistry test agreement contained within the chemistry test agreement was a broad release of any of all possible past and future legal claims of any kind that in any way related to Eady's involvement in the chemistry test. Let me read that one more time. Contained within the chemistry test agreement was a broad release of any and all possible past and future legal claims of any kind that is in any way related to Eady's involvement in the chemistry test. For example, the release contained within the chemistry test agreement did not carve out any intentional torts or violations of workplace protection and non-discrimination laws from the release of the claims. Further, the chemistry test agreement did not contain any provision restraining defendant Truly from filming Eady while she was nude or engaged in any actual activity. Child. Based on the breast of the release in the chemistry test agreement, Eady was concerned that she would be signing away any protections that she had against being intentionally harmed in the filming of the chemistry test or having her privacy violated beyond any reasonable expectation while filming. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all. What's up? Make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, honey. Child, let me take a swig of water, honey, because this is interesting. Brit underestimated and how tough Kenya would fight back. Kenya would go, listen. Hey, IPV. Hey, Tracy. I don't trust her when you look at what she puts in quotations. Why not put the emails or text in quotes? Why just quote the phone calls? Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Good morning, Leo Lion. Little baby going off. What little baby saying? Hey, Miss Catherine. We already know how this goes. The producers ask you who you don't like from the current and audition. Yeah, because that's who they want you to go after. Going after the OGs so that they can solidify their spots. Yep. All right, let's keep going. On February the 21st of 2024, Vaughn texts Eady to check in. Eady responded to the text by saying, hey, still talking with my husband, not looking good right now because of the release. Okay. That's interesting. Vaughn responded in capital letters, Brit. And then it says, don't make the appearance release your heel to die on. That's what was said. Eady responded, you have seen a copy of the release? Vaughn responded with, I have. It's pretty standard and everyone has signed it to appear on camera. Vaughn also stated, keep in mind that the appearance release is not an actual contract for being on the show. The next day, Vaughn reached out again by text and wrote, need to know where you stand by noon tomorrow, so keep me posted. Eady responded in relevant part, I am not comfortable signing that release due to giving up all my rights. So I understand if this forfeits my opportunity with RHOA. If anything changes with the release, let me know. If not, I totally understand. I just know in my heart I know better than to sign this contract. Vaughn requested to speak with Eady on the phone, which Eady agreed. During the subsequent telephone conversation, Vaughn repeatedly pressured Eady not to back out of the auditioning process with RHOA. Vaughn told Eady that she should not change her mind if she backed out and repeatedly emphasized that appearing on the show would lead to amazing opportunities. Listed cast members who had become famous and successful after appearing on the show and told Eady that she would be a fan favorite. Now, how the hell you knew that how you knew that? How you knew she was gonna be a fan favorite? Child. All right. She told Eady, don't let this be a hill that you die on, with this referring to being a broad release agreement that they were asking her to sign. Due to Vaughn's pressure and reassurance, and the fact that the chemistry test agreement was not the final agreement that would govern Eady's full participation on the show, Eady decided to continue with the audition process, signed the agreement, and filed the chemistry test or filmed the chemistry test with her husband and her mother. Okay. For those of you that are just joining us, if you could do me a huge favor and make sure you double tap the screen. And also for Thanksgiving, we are feeding the homeless. It is 7:53. Okay. So any donations that you guys send over today is going fully to help feed the homeless. We do have a goal today of $75. Thank you to the cash apps that we have received. So we are about $60 away from our goal. Okay, we're about $60 away from our goal. Just want to put that out there for you guys. All right, let's get back into it. In or around March of 2024, Eady was officially offered a role on RHOA. After Eady was offered a role on RHOA, she was sent a draft talent agreement between herself and defendant Truly for her appearance on RHOA. Eady and her attorney reviewed the talent agreement carefully, with Eady informing an RHOA producer that my attorney and myself have already reviewed and gone through everything. By its terms, the talent agreement superseded the chemistry test agreement. The talent agreement defined that the studio to mean defendant Truly and network to mean one or more of the television networks or platform. For example, Peacock streaming platform, etc. Peacock streaming platforms of NBC Universal Media LLC or its related or affiliate entities, which includes Defendant Bravo. The talent agreement further defined artists to refer to Eady. The talent agreement referred to Eady's employment under Eady's employment under the agreement, Eady's period of employment or artist employment 34 times. Okay, so it's just letting y'all know that in the contract, that's what it said to refer to Brit Eady in the contract. Under the terms of the talent agreement, the studio, which is defendant, Truly Original, and the network, i.e. Bravo, were afforded the right to exercise significant control over the time, place, and manner of Eady's work as a cast member of RHOA. Meanwhile, Eady was prohibited by the talent agreement from activities such as engaging in unscripted programming with any other studio, non-compete clause, appearing as herself in scripted programming, or promoting any brand without the network's approval, and was required to hold her work for the studio as first priority during this exclusivity period. Notably, the talent agreement stated that the studio shall not film artists while artist is engaged in actual sexual explicit content or conduct, or while artist is nude. It was particularly important to Eady that the talent agreement not allow defendants to film her or her heir in nude without her consent, and a protective provision that was not included in the earlier chemistry test agreement. The talent agreement contains a release of claims to the maximum extent permitted by law, but also as the claims that were directly or indirectly caused by negligent acts arising out of relating to the series. The release explicitly excludes claims for violation of the New York State human rights um, executive laws and other claims that may not be released by reason for applicable law. Thus, as accurately previewed by Vaughn, the release in the talent agreement was far less than what was in the release of the chemistry test agreement, which Miss Eady had been highly concerned. Okay, y'all, it gives the talent agreement. Do y'all want me to read that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 paragraphs. They're not long paragraphs. They take up like half a page. Y'all want me to read that? Who the F are both of these washed up hoes? Oh my word. Okay, y'all want me to read it? Okay. All right, let me take another swig of water, child. Y'all put me to work today, ain't it? Yeah. Thank you, TR, for your cash app. I did receive it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all said yes, boy. Y'all want me to work today, ain't it? Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so again, artist is Brit, Eady, and studio is the production company. All right. So, here we go. Or let me read this part. The talent agreement also included specific provisions covering defendant Truly Original's commitment to anti-discrimination, anti-harassment, and anti-retaliation policies. So I guess it is important that we do read this. Okay, so artist is in quotations. Artist employment hereunder shall be subject to studios and networks' other applicable policies and procedures as may be amped from time to time, including without limitations rules of conduct such as providing a respectful workplace, including anti-harassment and anti-discrimination, prohibition of violence in the workplace, and relating to the consumption of alcohol and or drugs, collectively production policies. Okay, they put a couple dots after that, which means that that particular clause in the lawsuit goes on. They didn't include it in here. Okay, so B, it stated that it put sorry. B, it stated that its publicity and confidentiality policies shall not prevent Eady from discussing or disclosing information about unlawful acts in the workplace, such as harassment or discrimination or any other conduct that artist has reason to believe is unlawful. Now that one's interesting. C, if artist has reason to believe that the conduct violating any studio policies, including but not limited to the respect in the workplace policy, has occurred or occurring in the workplace, artist is encouraged to report such conduct through studio's appropriate channels or through the channels provided by the network so that it can be promptly addressed. Artists will not be retaliated against for or in connection with reporting such conduct. Now, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This agreement may be, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. The people say, do she got a case? I don't know. I don't know. This agreement ain't really sounding all that great. Okay, let's go to D. In connection with artist services, artists may be in an environment where artists may hear, see, or encounter speech or physical contact or otherwise experience sensations that artists or others may consider offensive. Oh, wow. Artists shall immediately notify studio if any reason artist feels harassed due to artist's race, nationality, sex, age, disability, sexual orientation, or marital status, threatened or otherwise uncomfortable in connection with artist service, and artist understanding that the studio shall not and shall not authorize anyone else to penalize or retaliate against artists for doing so. Damn, that contract was whooping my tail over here. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Listen, this a long lawsuit. Brit Eady, this whole time, since when did they film the reunion? They filmed the reunion in shoot, I can't remember. It was in shoot. When did the reunion air? When did the reunion air? Somebody look that up really quick for me. When did part one of the reunion air? Somebody look that up for me. I'm gonna keep going, but somebody look it up for me and let me know when part one actually aired. All right. The talent agreement selected New York law as governing law, and the parties agreed to venue and jurisdiction in Supreme Court of the state of New York in New York County and the United States District Court, Southern District of New York. Eady signed a talent agreement on April the 19th of 2024. Hold on. Take another swig of water. Okay. Eady signed the talent agreement on April the 19th of 2024. On May the 10th of 2024, 3 days before filming began, Jacob H., I'm just going to call him Jacob H., Director of Business and Legal Affairs at Defendant Truly, sent Eady and each other castmate an email titled Truly Original Anti-Violence and Anti-Harassment Clauses. What's up, Braylon? What's going on? Okay, so it aired July 14th of 2025. So from that time until now, which this was filed on November the 20th, last Thursday. She had all that time to put this lawsuit together. And when I tell you the lawsuit is hefty, it is actually 61 pages. Now, of course, we ain't going through all 61 pages, but it is 61 pages. Now, we're going through the majority of them because y'all asked me to. So we're here. I love y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, let's keep going. But y'all, I got to turn this fan on, so y'all about to hear it. I'm sorry. I'm having a damn hot flash over here. Brit Eady got me damn hot. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Jacob sent them an email. So here we go. The body of the email reads in part, "Hey ladies, please review Truly's respect in the workplace policy and talent legal guidelines before filming resumes on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Attached to this email was a document referred to as a talent agreement entitled Truly Original LLC Respect in Workplace Policy. Truly RITW Policy. The Truly RITW Policy outlined a series of robust and specific commitments from defendant Truly to avoid sexual harassment and retaliation, including the following." So this is more of a contract. So let's get into this. Now, this one is a page, but I think it's important. Truly is committed to providing professional and respectful work environment where everyone is treated fairly and with dignity. In support of this commitment, the company prohibits discrimination, harassment, bullying, and retaliation in the workplace or work-related settings. This policy applies to the company's applicants and employees, co-workers, supervisors, and managers. As used in this policy, the term employee indicates contractors and volunteers in the workplace. In addition, this policy applies to conduct at work and in work-related settings, whether on company premises or off-site, and whether during or outside of the regular work hours. This includes during work-related travel or production locations, during social events with colleagues, including vendors and other business partners, and on social media sites. Harassment is prohibited. Harassment is a type of discrimination and includes conduct that creates a disrespectful, intimidating, hostile, or degrading or offensive work environment for another individual based on or more protected characteristics. It's stated that harassment can be verbal and significantly visual, such as the posting of uh, or the distribution of offensive posters, symbols, cartoons, drawing, computer displays, and or emails. Actual harassment is generally categorized into two types: quad pro or quo harassment and hostile work environment harassment. It's stated that quad pro quo harassment could be submission of actual conduct is made explicitly or and is a term or condition of an individual's employment and or submissions to a rejection of the conduct by an employee is used as the basis of as the basis for employment decision affecting the employee. Y'all know this reunion. Okay, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for letting me know when it was aired. I just wanted to say from that time to now, she had time to fill this out or to file this lawsuit. The policy defined hostile work environment harassment as conduct that has the purpose of or effect of unreasonably interfering, with any employee's work performance or of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment due to or based on gender. One example is listed or that was listed is displaying or distributing actual suggestive or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters, or any such items. It is noted. Other types of conduct may constitute sexual harassment. I'm gonna slip up and say that word. So I'm gonna have to unmonetize this video because I know they're gonna demonetize it. Sexual harassment under this policy or applicable law. Retaliation is prohibited. The company strictly prohibits retaliation against any individual who, in good faith, raises a concern internally or to an appropriate government agency about or otherwise opposes discrimination, harassment, bullying, and or retaliation or other behavior this policy prohibits, even if the concern proves to be unfounded or the investigation is inconclusive. Prohibited retaliation. It explained. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. There we go. It explains. It explained includes demotion, suspension, threats of discharge, or other adverse employment actions, or other harassment or intimidation as a result of reporting a concern or participating in an investigation as described above. Just days before filming, Cox again told Eady that this season of RHOA would be glamorous, emphasize fashion, and have fun. Sex in the City meets Selling Sunset vibe with less drama. Now that's interesting. Okay, that's quite interesting. Selling Sunset with less drama. Oh wow, don't y'all? That's quite interesting, right? All right, here we go. Kenya Moore, an RHOA castmate, is a classic attempt at RP sexually harass Eady by publishing a pornographic photograph. It's hard not to say these words. depicting Eady during a filming cast event. On May 13th of 2024, filming for season 16 of RHOA had begun. During filming, Eady developed an interpersonal dispute with a longtime cast member, Kenya Moore. Unless there was some shit that we saw off camera, and I think hopefully that's what this lawsuit give us, because we still trying to this day figure out what your issue was with Kenya. On information and belief, Moore has signed a talent agreement with defendant Truly that was nearly identical to Eady's exact, that her rate of pay was higher due to her tenure. Okay, except that her rate was higher due to her tenure. On information and belief, in the spring of 2024, Moore began to develop a concept for her new hair salon she wanted to open in Atlanta, Georgia. Moore then used the platform of RHOA to promote the relaunch of the salon. Specifically, on June the 6th of 2024, Moore, Eady, and producers from defendants' companies and other employees of defendants filmed material for an episode of RHOA during the opening of Moore's salon. Hereafter will be referred to as the salon event. On information and belief, Moore's salon qualified as a featured artist business under Section 6B1A of a talent agreement, which meant that if a business is achieved at a certain amount of revenue, Moore would be required to pay the network a portion of that revenue. So I know we've always heard this as a thing. The only person I think that said that didn't happen was your OGs, the OGs. But now we know that according to this, that Moore was required to give the network a portion of her revenue. That then makes me wonder. Do y'all remember when Kenya went and done an interview with Carlos King, and she was unhappy with how the network showed her business the year before, or the season prior to, which I think was season 15? No, season 14. See, it was either season 15 or 14, right? Y'all remember that? That makes me wonder, was that because she didn't have the business fully there? Is that maybe a reason why they took it out? I don't know. I'm just thinking. On information and belief, the salon event occurred on a premises and was an event or activity for which Moore owned and or controlled all such access rights. And therefore, under the terms of Moore Talent Agreement, she is irrevocably granted the network's access to, including without limitations, permission to film and otherwise make recordings in and of the salon event. The salon event was described to the cast members as an all-cast event, which meant that every cast member was required to attend. On information and belief, Moore also invited various members of the media to attend the salon event, including prominent gossip bloggers. Including prominent gossip bloggers. Well, I have you to know there may have been some bloggers in the room, but I do know Michelle ATL Brown was outside of the salon. I was invited, but I did not touch down in Atlanta until the next day, so I wasn't able to go. But I was definitely invited, so that's interesting. Prominent gossip bloggers. Interesting. Y'all love coming for us. On information and belief, defendants required Moore to submit a guest list in advance of the salon event and had the power to approve or decline any proposed guests on Moore's list, meaning that the defendant knew and approved of the presence of these individual members of the media. Prior to the salon event, Eady expressed to the producers that she did not want to attend because of the interpersonal conflict that had developed between herself and Moore. Eady believed that her attendance at the salon event would cause an unwanted escalation of tension between herself and Moore. In response, Cheyenne Humphrey, a RHOA producer who, on information and belief, was employed by defendant Truly at all relevant times, had an argument with Eady in Eady's home and told Eady in sum and substance that this was her job to attend the salon event and that it was mandatory that she did not have a choice. Now, we told y'all that then. We told y'all that these folks don't have a choice. When you have a ensemble cast, they don't have a choice but to show up to these full events. If you choose not to show up, then I think you are gutted from the episode. You don't get paid. And again, it also depends on the network. We're talking about Bravo, not OWN, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know how OWN do their stuff, but Bravo per se, we have been hearing this for years, that if you don't show up to a group event, like you don't show up to the reunion, you're out of there. You know, it's your job. It's your job to show up. So I'm not mad at the producer for telling that. Eady, in response, said that she was not ready for the drama the salon event would entail, that she felt like it was a setup and that she was terrified that her attendance at the salon event would cause tensions to escalate further. But this, Eady, this only means to me, Brit, that you knew that you had took it too far when you, because I want y'all to address this pow pow situation. Why I don't hear you addressing that? Why I don't hear you talking about this pow pow situation? You talking about how we ended up at the salon and how all the things ended up, but you're not talking about what you did before. And I find that to be interesting. And I was gonna say that some time back, but I was like, let me go through the lawsuit and see if it'll mention it. It ain't mentioned it yet. Just saying. Anyway. Humphrey responded in sum and substance that it did not matter how Eady felt. It was not on camera. Prior to, this conversation was not on camera, is basically what they're saying. Prior to the salon event, Eady also spoke to a human resources representative from defendant Truly, who advised her in sum and substance that it was possible that Moore would do something to embarrass Eady at the salon event, but Eady should go anyway and leave quickly. Wait a minute. But I still don't think, and now this is just me. I still don't think that they knew what Kenya was gonna do. I don't. I really don't. I don't think that. But I mean, I could be wrong, just my opinion, but I do think that. Hey, Butterfly. And by the way, that did happen. She did leave the event quick and everything. Despite the conflict between Eady and Moore, defendants required Eady to appear at the salon event and represented to Eady that she could be fired if she did not attend. Each cast member was required to wear a microphone provided by defendants during the filming of the salon event. Employees of the defendant circulated at the salon event to ensure that the microphones were functional and to replace batteries as needed. Hold on one second, y'all. I don't think. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Okay. All right. Also present at the salon event were numerous other employees of defendants, including at least one director and multiple operators for approximately 10 cameras that recorded various angles and spaces in the event. Hey, Aunt Natty. They know Kenya is petty, but they didn't expect that in my opinion. Yeah, I would hope not. In total, approximately 200 people attended the salon event live, including cast members of RHOA, their families, and their friends and other employees of representatives of the defendants. Eady arrived at the salon event at the time scheduled by defendants' Trudy production team and left shortly thereafter. After Eady left the salon event, Moore began to give a speech to the event's attendees. Rather than focus her speech on her salon that she was opening, however, Moore unusually focused her comments on Eady, making a variety of statements about Eady, including false and derogatory statements about her profession, character, and personal actual history. Moore displayed poster boards which included shocking and derogatory accusations about Eady, certain actual photographs of Eady, and, as alleged further below, at least one explicit photograph that was it was depicted as Eady, but which in reality it was not. Moore stated that I did some research and found out who this bitch is, suggesting that the statements that would follow were facts that would have been discovered by Moore. Moore also stated that she had private investigators research Eady and that she was showing what they had found. Moore then displayed 4 poster boards concerning Eady. We only saw 2 on the show. One of the poster boards contained text reading, "Who is this hoe?" and contained several photographs depicting Eady. Moore pointed to each photograph on this poster board and stated, "Brit Eady is her name. It's the same girl." Moore also referred to Eady as a trap hoe video hoe, implying that it is the key of the key here. I'm sorry, y'all. Moore also referred to Eady as a trap hoe video hoe, implying that Eady was currently or formerly engaging in prostitution. Eady has never engaged in prostitution, and Moore's statements to the contrary was false. As the crowd watched, Moore continued to make false statements regarding Eady's proposed actual history, stating that Eady does escort and she charges $1,400 per appointment. What? What? I did not hear. I missed that. What? $1,400 per appointment? What all do you have to do? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. As stated above, these statements were false because Eady has never engaged in prostitution. Most egregiously, however, Moore then displayed a poster board that contained several photographs of Eady in revealing outfits, and the instance that is at the center of this lawsuit, a graphic photograph of a woman that was supposed to be Eady engaging in actual activity with another person. Specifically, the photograph depicted a woman performing fellatio on a man. Although the woman's face in the photograph is clearly depicted, as is the sex act that she is performing, the man's face is not depicted. Moore represented to the crowd that Eady was the woman depicted in the explicit photograph. In reality, however, the explicit photograph did not depict Eady, but instead depicted a different unknown woman performing fellatio on another unknown person, and or was a deep fake. So when they say deep fake, what they trying to say? In other words, somebody like it's like AI or something. What y'all trying to say? On information and belief, Moore knew or should have known that the photograph did not actually depict Eady. Moore's conduct violated defendant Truly's sexual harassment policies, which prohibits, for example, displaying or distributing actual suggestive or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters, or such items. Moreover, and the foregoing conduct of Moore's um, constituted at the minimum an attempt to violate the RP laws in Georgia. Georgia Code 161190. It prohibits on nude and or explicitly sexual electronic transmissions. And New York State Code, the penal law 245.15, unlawful publication of intimate images. On information and belief, Moore's entire speech at the salon event has as well as images from all of the poster boards that Moore displayed were captured on camera that the defendants used to film the event. It was captured, but they didn't damn show it. Moore's actions were in furtherance of the business of the defendants because Moore acted to create skeptical and drama at an event that was filmed for the use of RHOA, an act which routinely encouraged and sought after by the defendants. Moore's actions were within the scope of her employment with defendant Truly. After Moore displayed the poster boards that contained the explicit photographs, multiple other cast members and attendees of the salon events expressed strong disapproval of Moore's actions and left the event early out of disgust. Oh, I'm glad they gave us the definition of deep fake. So down at the bottom of this page, it says a deep fake is an image or recording that has been conveniently altered and manipulated to misrepresent someone as doing or saying something that they didn't actually do or say. Okay, they got that from Webster Dictionary. Similarly, earlier this year, the Federal Takedown Act was incited into law, which makes the non-consensual publication of intimate images, including deepfake, a federal crime. Okay, so I just wanted to read y'all that footnote that was at the bottom of the lawsuit. All right, y'all. Please make sure you double tap the screen if you have not done so already. Listen, we've been live for about an hour and 43 minutes. I know for a fact that we have probably been on this lawsuit for an hour and 10 minutes at least. So again, please make sure you hit that like button. We're feeding the homeless for Thanksgiving. So if you guys would like to make a donation, you can. That donation is solely going to that. The Cash App is on the screen. All right, let's keep going. All right, so it says that cast member Shamia Morton later said, "I could not believe my eyes." Several cast members said that it was too far. Cast member Portia Williams later said, "I am mortified. I did not want to stand there and seem like I was in agreement of anything. I don't support this." Cast member Shamia Morton said, "But this is too much." Cast member Angela Oakley said, "I empathize with Brit because I can only imagine the pain that it may cause anyone who's exposed that way." In reaction to the shocking events, Williams said that she did not want to be on camera anymore and asked defendants and crew to remove her mic and to act like she was never even at the event. I wasn't mad at Portia. I wasn't mad at Portia. Indeed, the salon event ended early and immediately after Moore's demonstration of the photo due to Moore's shocking behavior. The shop expressed disapproval and immediate departure of other cast members demonstrate that none of those castmates expected this type of behavior to occur during their employment with defendant Truly or their involvement on the show. Cast member Kelly Farrell approached Eady in the parking lot of the salon to tell her what had happened. She and Eady sat in the car and did not allow the cameras to follow them. In the privacy of their car, Farrell stated that Moore had shown photographs of Eady naked and performing a sex act that Moore stated that Eady had engaged in prostitution. Eady asked Pharrell for more details about the photograph, but Pharrell stated that, for how do you say the lady name? Pharrell stated that she had left as soon as the explicit photograph was shown and did not get a good look. Pharrell was mistaken that the explicit photograph depicted Eady. After the interaction, Eady and Pharrell left the van. Two RHOA producers approached Eady and apologized for Moore's conduct. Eady left the location before the cast members exited the salon. Based on the representations of Pharrell and the producers, Eady believed that the explicit photograph depicted her. Eady, Eady currently does not have any knowledge of how Moore obtained the photographs that she displayed and the false information that she demonstrated at the salon event. However, prior to the salon event, defendant truly possessed knowledge of false rumors concerning Eady's actual history that had circulated on the internet forums. I'm sorry. Eady reports the incident at the salon event to defendants, and defendants conducted an immediate investigation and then suspended Moore from the show a week later. Following the incident, Eady specifically and immediately reported Moore's harassing conduct to defendants. Indeed, on January the 7th of 2024, the day after the salon event, Eady texts RHOA producers and Eady texts RHOA producers the statutory language of OGCA, Georgia's Revenge P Law, and later that day texts those same producers, "Now I need to know everything that was on those posters for legal reasons." That day, defendant truly executives, including the people that I named prior to, I can't remember their first names, but y'all know the people, Gina and Geraldo and all of them people. They called Eady to discuss the incident. On information and belief, called Eady from their offices in New York while Humphreys was in Atlanta. So one of the producers or one of the people that were employed by Bravo or by Truly was in Atlanta at the time. During the call, Eady was distraught and emotional. She asked what the producers were going to do about what had happened to her. Houghton and Lawson said that they were going to investigate the incident and get it handled. Cox apologized for the incident and said that Eady could take as much time off as she needed to. On the call, Humphrey stated that she had no idea what Moore had planned. Eady was skeptical because Humphrey knew that Eady did not want to attend the salon event and she had pushed Eady to go. And remember, she said that they knew Kenya was going to do something embarrassing, but she was still required to go. On the call, Eady asked to see the photographs that Moore had displayed. Lawson, Cox, and Humphrey said that it was too soon and that they would have to review the footage and investigate. Soon after the incident, Eady had seen posts on Instagram and other social media sites discussing the incident at the salon event. Bloggers and media organizations began contacting Eady for a comment on the story. Eady was also the subject and target of harassing comments on social media. Additionally, the online rumors were fueled by the post of a cast member, Drew Sidora, who generally confirmed in a post on Twitter that the incident at the salon event. Now, in Drew's defense, my friend Eric posted something that happened where he posted how he felt about the situation, and Drew retweeted what he said with a Patrick Star emoji or a Patrick Star meme with his jaw dropped. I still got the post. So I like anyway, whatever. During the call, dur- by the way, and I keep saying this, I had multiple people at the event that day. Multiple people that I knew was in that room that day. Um, I love that she believed that she was an ex worker and wanted more details. Wait, the producers responded and not their legal. Let's keep going. That's what it looks like, but let's keep going. During the call the day after the salon event, Eady reported to Lawson, Cox, and Humphreys about these online posts, media outreach, and harassment that she has been receiving, as well as Juicadora's post. Soon after the salon event, an audio recording taken at the event leaked, allowing Eady to hear exactly what Moore had said during the event. On information and belief, defendants reviewed the footage of Moore's speech and the poster boards that she displayed and conducted an investigation. Within the week of June the 6th incident, defendants suspended Moore from filming for the 16th season of RHOA, specifically due to her presentation of the graphic pornographic photograph um, depicting Eady. Indeed, or should have been. Indeed, on or around June the 14th of 2024 were well before any episodes of season 16 had aired, a source associated with RHOA made the following statement to Entertainment Tonight. Kenya was suspended for allegedly depicting Britney performing a sexual act at the grand opening of Kenya Moore Hair Salon or Hair Spa in Atlanta from images allegedly found online. The network is still reviewing the content that Kenya displayed during filming. As she had previewed the day after the incident, in the weeks and months followed, Eady repeatedly told the show producers that she intended to seek legal relief concerning Moore's sexual harassing and illegal use of RP against her. Defendants Defendants thus knew that Moore's presentation of the photograph was not just potentially illegal, but also beyond the bounds of their show, their own internal rules, and the expectations of the participants and fans. As Moore confirmed in a YouTube video that she posted on April the 19th of 2025, Moore was forced to engage a local attorney to seek legal advice about her actions, and in particular whether they violated the revenge porno laws. Okay, y'all, give me a minute. Jesus. Baby, this lawsuit ain't a book. Lord have mercy. Hopefully y'all hitting that like button and things of that sort. Okay. I gotta keep wetting my whistle, honey, because this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Let's keep going, child. All right. Despite suspending Moore for her horrific sexual harassment of Eady, defendants themselves sexually harassed Eady by soliciting, filming, discussion of the salon incident for months, forcing Eady to discuss and reference her actual history on camera and effectively airing the incident the following year. I have a lot of questions too, Tracy. Despite Cox's assurance the day after the salon event that Eady could take as much time off after the salon event that she needed, only 2 or 3 days later, Humphrey began calling Eady and telling her that she needed to go back to work and would not be paid if she did not resume filming. During this time, two other castmates had informed Eady that defendant had been filming them discussing the incident at the salon. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can't hear me no more? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I think I see this happening. Hold on. They say they can't hear me no more. I think it's this. Can y'all hear me still? I can hear you, but you sound far away. Okay, can y'all hear me better? Now, how long has it been like that? Y'all wasn't gonna say nothing? Prior to the chemistry test, Eady was depicting in Atlanta. Oh, okay. I about to say y'all wasn't gonna even tell me nothing. All right, all right. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. For some odd reason, it had connected to my Bluetooth, which was way across the room. All right. Ooh, hold on. Let me. All right. No, I appreciated Nitwit. I thought that it had gone on for a little bit, but it just posted this Bluetooth icons. That's how I knew. That's what it did. Okay. All right. So let's go back just a little bit, just a teensy bit. Okay. So despite Cox's assurance the day after the salon event that Eady could take as much time off after the salon event that she needed, only 2 or 3 days later, Humphrey began calling Eady and telling her that she needed to go back to work and would not be paid if she did not resume filming. During this time, two other castmates had informed Eady, sorry, had informed Eady that defendants had been filming them discussing the incident at the salon event. I mean, that's quite natural, lady. Due to the significant time commitment demand from her during the filming of RHOA, Eady did not have time to focus on her other businesses, and her only significant source of income at the time was her pay per episode pay from RHOA. So then that means that whole thing that she had posted about her doing these insurance classes and stuff, the people was right about you when you posted that. I'm just saying. Just saying. Eady did not want to resume filming to discuss the incident on camera, but she was repeatedly and persistently pursued by defendants to do so. Producers encouraged Eady to be as emotional as possible and to get it all out on camera, meaning to discuss the incident at the salon in detail. The producers encouraged Eady to take control of the narrative by discussing the incident and said that in sum and substance, the better we get this out, the better the fans will understand and have empathy with you. Cox compared the situation to Kim Kardashian's sex tape, meaning that Eady should use the salon event incident for positive publicity. I ain't gonna hold you. If that's something I used to do in my past and I don't do it right now, I'd have used every baby. It ain't me though. Despite encouraging Eady to discuss the incident on camera, defendants did not inform Eady that the explicit photograph did not depict her, nor did they allow Eady to view the photograph that Moore had displayed. In other words, defendant allowed Eady to believe that the photograph did depict her, which it did not. In the face of this pressure, Eady repeatedly and consistently told defendants that she was not comfortable discussing the incident at the salon event. Eady also informed Cox and Humphrey that she found it extremely difficult to discuss the incident in front of her family. Defendants, however, coerced Eady into discussing the photograph and the incident on camera, including in front of her family. Not only did they collectively pressure her into thinking that it was in her best interest to do so, but they also effectively told her that she would get a little little to no camera time and potentially no payment if she did not do so. Faced with this and coordinated campaign, Eady ultimately gave in to the pressure to discuss the event. During Eady's first filming day after the salon event, which came after several days of defendants pressuring Eady to discuss the incident despite her not wanting to, producers employed by defendant Trudy filmed Eady discussing the event with her husband and with Pharrell. On camera, Eady discussed the public reaction to the incident, stating, "I have had all of Kenya's minions, my friends, my colleagues, my business partners DMing me. I've been getting texts. More doesn't even realize the damage that she has caused." Because Eady was falsely led to believe that the explicit photograph depicted her, and because of the pressure from producers, Eady was also forced to discuss her actual history and to do it on camera. The producers also orchestrated a conversation between Eady and her mother on the same day, which was filmed. The producers pressured Eady to speak to her mother about the incident at the salon event, and by doing so, to discuss her sexual history with her mother on camera during an extremely sensitive and vulnerable time. Eady also discussed on camera the emotional and psychological effect that the public response to the incident has caused, stating that this ordeal has definitely taken a toll on my mental health, 100%. Every time I get on social media, there is an article on this. Everything, when you Google my name now, this situation, you can't remove this now on the internet. So I'm going to have my guard up because I'm going to have my guard up because I just don't know what to expect from this group of ladies. During this period, Eady repeatedly had sessions with one of the defendants' psychiatrists, Dr. Alyssa Herbosch, to discuss her trauma from the salon event. After Eady restarted filming, Eady tried to learn more from crew members about what exactly Moore had shown on the poster boards. On set, Eady asked Cox if she could see the footage from the event showing the poster board that Moore had displayed. Cox responded that the footage was in the property of Bravo and that she could not show it to Eady. Cox's assertion was nonsensical because Eady was subject to the confidentiality agreement and because versions of episodes and content were routinely shared with RHOA participants prior to airing. On information and belief, the crew members had also been instructed not to substitute. Anyway, that wasn't asked to discuss the damn event, okay? On set, Eady asked crew members, I ain't going to try that word. Eady asked crew members on set if they had captured footage of the poster boards. In response to Eady's question, crew members would say only that they stopped filming before Moore brought out the poster boards. Now, from what I understand, from the people who were there, they did say that their cameramans were gooped and gang because they did not know. The sound is out. Oh, sound it out. Oh, I don't give a damn. I can pass that word. I thought you said sound out. I don't give a damn. We're gonna pass that word because I could ask Google, but we on page 29 of 61. So we still got a little bit to go. I might I'll think about the word later. All right. So let's keep going. These statements were obviously nonsensical and false, perhaps shown most clearly by the facts as discussed in the paragraph 259. So we ain't got there yet. Defendants ultimately aired certain footage of the poster boards in the episodes that they aired following that year. Again, because we only saw 2 poster boards, they're alleging that there was 4 poster boards involved. Both during filming and moments of privacy. I know really be gonna read this lawsuit, but I hope really be read this entire lawsuit because because y'all owe really be an apology. According to this lawsuit, and again, it's just allegations, but y'all owe really be an apology because things that me and really be been telling y'all is true based off of this lawsuit. We told y'all. We had folks in the room. We told y'all. It was people that argued me down about what happened. And I'm telling y'all, I got people who got firsthand knowledge that saw this thing go down, and they know exactly what happened. Did she discuss chains and whips with her family? Brit, go on. That's my thing too. I'm wondering, is she gonna mention any of that in this lawsuit, Demetria? I was sure thinking that. All right, let's keep going. Both during filming and moments of privacy, Eady's castmates continued to discuss the incident at the salon event with her. In late June, after the filming of an episode on location in Nashville, a cast member told Eady that another cast member, Sadora, had given more the information used on the poster board. Here we go, child. On information and belief. And Kenya said in that YouTube video, and I hope she include that in here, Kenya said on a YouTube video that she did not send that. And also Drew Sadora said on the reunion that she did not send that. It was asked from Drew Sadora multiple times, and Drew said she didn't do it. And Kenya also said she didn't do it. Now, could it be a cover-up? Possibly, but, I don't know. I don't know what to believe here. On information and belief, this conversation was not filmed. As alleged below, defendants again forced Eady to discuss the incident at the salon event months later while filming confessional segments after the main taping of the series ended, which they do all the time. On information and belief, despite Eady's clear anguish from the salon event and about Moore's sexual harassment, defendants encouraged and facilitated other castmates to make unwanted, highly offensive, sexually explicit comments on camera. Y'all, is y'all ready? Is y'all ready for it? I knew this was gonna get them. On or about on or around June the 18th of 2024, cast member Drew Sadora asked Eady, "Did you ever sell it?" Did I ever sell what? The cat? That went around. That hit the blogs and everything. That was a key when Drew asked her that. Did you ever sell it? What? The cat? Baby, Drew did say that in the episode, and that became a meme and everything. Shout out to Drew, okay? On or around July the 5th of 2024, castmate Angela Oakley told Eady that she had stretched marks and miles around her mouth, referring to fellatio. Girl, I know you're not using that as a way to, like, come on, girl. Both of them reeds stuck, didn't it? Both of them reeds ate you up and they stuck. That's why you mad, because Angela ate you up with that fellatio. It was like Angela said it so calmly while she was leaning back. Boy, she got you and you just mad. On or around July the 5th, okay, I read that one. Castmate Shamia Morton repeatedly told Eady that she was a whore on camera, including on or around October the 14th of 2024. She told her, "You were a whore on camera." Wow. These comments violated, among other things, defendant Truly Original's workplace policy. On information and belief, defendants took no remedial action against them against these castmates, actual harassment of Brit Eady. It's not actual harassment to ask you questions, girl. I like, come on now. That's not actual harassment to ask you questions like that. And see, here's how I think that Drew would be justified in those questions. Drew would be justified based on what footage the network has. So I don't know about that one. RHOA confessional segments were filmed between September of 2024 and March of 2025. All confessionals were filmed at a studio in Atlanta. During the filming of confessionals, producers would request that the cast members discuss the events of each episode as though they had just happened to give the impression that the confessionals were filmed during the series, which we already know that's not how that works. During the filming of confessionals, producers would also give cast members information and details that they had not had before in order to prompt the response. Brit Eady again saying that the producers, in no uncertain terms, that she did not want to further discuss the incident at the salon event during these confessionals. Cox pressured Eady to discuss the incident in detail, to be as emotional as possible about the incident, and to reference her actual history during these segments. Eady again gave into the pressure from Cox because she did not want to lose her job at RHOA or lose her opportunity to receive bonuses. On information and belief, between the beginning of filming on March the 9th of 2025, defendant Bravo edited the footage obtained from filming the cast to produce episodes of RHOA. The 16th season of RHOA premiered on March the 9th of 2025. On information and belief, defendant Bravo and was responsible for all decisions regarding editing of the episodes, creating and distributing, advertisement for the series, and the ultimate airing of the episodes. On information and belief, each episode of RHOA and each advertisement for RHOA was edited in the broadcast room of New York. Prior to the premiere, defendants produced and released promotional material for the new season that referred to the incident at the salons to stir up drama for the viewers. For example, on January 30th of 2025, Bravo posted a video to its YouTube channel titled Sneak Peek, your first look at the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. The video included a depiction of Moore at the salon displaying a poster to guests and stating, "Who is this hoe? Brit Eady is her name," followed by shots of guests at the event gasping. The next scene cut to Eady crying and saying she thinks this is okay. Taken together, the scene clearly depicts Moore making harmful statements about Eady. The premiere of season 16 of RHOA introduced Eady by making reference to one of the most humiliating aspects of the aftermath of the salon event, especially while other cast members were introduced by reference to their marriages and friendships. The first line spoken to Eady that was used on the show was, "All in a split second, everything changed. Now I have to talk about sucking dick with my mother." Wow. I'm just telling y'all what the lawsuits say. On April the 7th of 2025, episode 5 of RHOA aired and broadcast significant portions of Moore's actual harassment behavior at the salon event. In particular, the episode depicted Moore stating, "I did a little research and I found out who this bitch is," and displaying poster boards containing blurred out photographs with some visible text. The episode The episode showed a poster board that read, "Who is this hoe?" accompanied by photographs that were blurred out. Nevertheless, the episode depicts more pointing to the blurred photographs and stated Brit Eady is her name. It's the same girl. And so they have a picture of um she included a still shot of the episode on, so basically you see Kenya holding up the poster and it says, "Who is this hoe?" The episode next showed more, stating that her private investigators found some more evidence of me and displaying another poster board. The second poster board was also displayed with blurred photographs. As the poster board was displayed, the episode showed more, stating in reference to Eady, she used to be a video hoe. She was a trap hoe video hoe. Next, the episode depicted more, stating, "Then they kept sending me information," and holding up another poster board. The content of that poster board were not visible on the episode. The episode then depicts gasps and sounds of shock from the guests at the salon event. Next, the episode cuts to a black screen that contains a statement that says the following: "Due to the graphic nature of these photographs, Bravo has chosen not to exhibit them." Despite these claims that the photographs were too graphic to be displayed, the defendants edited the episode to not only describe in detail what it depicted, but to imply that the graphic photograph actually depicted Eady. Specifically, immediately after the above screen was displayed, a voice from an unknown cast member played, in which the cast member stated, "Ain't nobody trying to see this girl sucking nobody's dingaling." That is just so crazy. Oh wow. And then they put a screenshot or a still shot of Angela and Portia. Thus, even though the episode did not depict the photograph itself, the defendants editing the episode clearly represented the viewers that Moore had displayed a photograph that depicted Eady performing fellatio. Both in clips and the incident and confessional portions filmed thereafter, cast members expressed their dislike and shock for the explicit photographs that were displayed or that were supposed to display Eady. At the conclusion of the episode, another black screen was displayed that contained the text, "Based on King's behavior, the decision was made to cease filming with her after this season, or from this season." During the week of April the 7th of 2005, Eady was required by defendant to travel to New York to appear on Watch What Happens Live, a show broadcast on Bravo, in which cast members of Bravo's television franchise discussed recent episodes with producer Andy Cohen. During the 3 days that she was required to be in New York, Eady also did several interviews with New York-based media outlets pursuant to Bravo's scheduled itinerary. While Eady was in New York City, RHOA producers, including Cox and Brasov, invited Eady to have dinner with them privately. While at dinner, Eady again asked Cox and the other guy if she could see the actual footage depicting the poster boards that Moore displayed. Cox replied that they thought that they could make it happen, but did not indicate that they would take the steps to show Eady the photograph, nor did they take any such steps. In fact, despite Eady's repeated requests to defendants to see the photograph displayed at the salon event, none of the defendants and their employees or agents ever showed Eady the photograph or any recordings or images of the poster board that contained the photograph. At the same dinner in New York City, Cox and the other person, no disrespect, told Eady that she was approved to appear on season 17 of RHOA. However, Cox and the other person also informed Eady at the same time that the show planned to bring Moore back for season 17, despite what Moore had done. Indeed, Cox and the other person even asked Eady how she would feel about filming with Moore again for season 17. And they asked in a manner unequivocally a suggestion that it would not be a choice for Eady if she chose to come back. She would have to film alongside Moore. Eady was horrified and traumatized to learn this at this dinner, that the defendants were still inclined to employ Moore, and Moore had egregiously actually harassed her, and that they were willing to subject Eady to working with Moore again. Yes. Tracy, to answer your question, that is true. Child, we got a little bit more to go, y'all. Shout out to y'all for sticking with me. How far are we away from our goal for today? Give me 1 second. We are $40 away from our goal for today, y'all. We're $40 away from our goal. All right, we're $40 away from our goal. We can do $4. I mean, not $4. Well, $10 from 4 folks. $10 from 4 folks. Or however y'all see fit. Again, it's going to us feeding the homeless. All right. You said Kenya was never in a video, but she was. Who said that? I said that. I don't think I ever said that. If I did, I didn't mean to say that, because that would be a lie. Kenya has been in several music videos alongside with her role in Toi. So I mean, no shade of tea. If I did say that, or if I did say that, I ain't mean to say that, because we know that's not true. Okay. Each of the participants at the dinner knew that Eady had suffered significant emotional distress from Moore's harassing actions, yet they insisted that Eady appearing on next season with Moore. Eady was thus faced with a decision to continue employment with Moore, or to walk away from RHOA entirely, as alleged below. She chose the latter. Oh, not me. Oh, okay. I was about to say, if I said that, I ain't mean to say that, because we know that ain't true. My bad. On April the 15th of 2025, episode 6 of season 16 of RHOA aired. Episode 6 depicted Eady speaking out about the incident that happened at the salon event and discussing her actual history, which Eady would not have done had the defendants not forced her to resume filming and pressured her to discuss these topics while she was in a vulnerable and emotional state. In or around late May 2025, Eady heard from a fellow castmate that two castmates, Shamia Morton and Kelly Farrell, who had previously called Eady a whore on camera, were planning to falsely accuse Eady of having undergone a vaginal rejuvenation surgery with forced medical documentation at the reunion in June of 2025. Ma'am, what? Wait a minute. Wait one damn minute. Just wait a minute. Do what? Let me read that one more time. Did the people hear that? And again, these are allegations. I don't know this to be true, but my God from Zion. Did y'all hear that? Let me read it again. In or around late May 2025, Eady heard from a fellow castmate that two other castmates, Shamia Morton and Kelly Farrell, who had previously, do y'all know who the other castmate may be? I ain't gonna hold you, but it sounds like it could have been Portia. Ooh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that was Portia. That had to have been Portia. They told her that. Because Portia ain't really cool with Shamia, and Kelly was getting close to Shamia, and Portia is still cool with Brit Eady. She the only one, I think. Maybe Angela, but everybody else is cool on Brit. They ain't really fooling with her, girl. So this is what she was talking about. Y'all know Brit Eady did a video not too long ago where she was in the pool. This is what she was talking about. Oh wow. Okay. And again, we don't know. But let me read what she said that the person told her. And allegedly we saying it could definitely be Portia. In or around late May 2025, Eady heard from a fellow castmate that two castmates, Shamia Morton and Kelly Farrell, who had previously called Eady a whore on camera, were planning to falsely accuse Eady of having undergone a vaginal rejuvenation surgery with forged medical documents at the reunion in June of 2025. Well, let's be very clear. If Shamia and Kelly actually really did that, wouldn't that be a violation of HIPAA? And again, I do know it says forged medical documentation, but none of us are dumb. Do y'all think the viewers are dumb? So if y'all even tried to do that, we're not stupid. We just not stupid. And Brit, you shouldn't have fell for it. I'm just saying. This false accusation was intended to insinuate that Eady was a prostitute. On May 29th of 2025, Eady emailed director Tony Tone of NBC to express her concerns about the ongoing harassment campaign against her. Eady wrote her email in context of the forthcoming filming of the reunion episode for season 16, which was to be attended by each of the castmates and was scheduled for June the 5th of 2025. Eady wrote, "I feel like this is an opportunity to try to silence me, and whatever will take place at the reunion is no longer just a work environment, but a hostile smear campaign at best." Eady also had a call with several executives where she reiterated her concerns. In response, later that day, Hygigan, defendant Truly Originals business and legal affairs director, who had previously sent defendant Truly's anti-discrimination and anti-retaliation policies to each one of the cast members before filming, sent an email to castmates attaching Truly Original anti-violence policy. However, on information and belief, defendant did not take any corrective action. In June of 2025, Eady for the first time saw a photograph of the poster board more displayed that contained a photograph that was supposed to be an explicit image of herself, and she immediately recognized the woman in the photograph was not her. Because of her concerns of the ongoing sexual harassment and defendant's failure to take corrective action, Eady also declined to appear on season 16 reunion taping on or around June the 5th. For example, Eady feared that castmates Morton and Farrell would harass her by falsely accusing her of undergoing the vaginal rejuvenation surgery and calling her a prostitute. Eady was scheduled to appear for another taping of Watch What Happens Live in New York City on June the 9th of 2025, but felt compelled to decline in light of the aftermath of the airing of the incident at the salon event and ongoing sexual harassment against her. At the taping, which aired live, cast member Drew Sidora sang, Brit, the world wants you to know. Okay, the world wants to know, are you a hoe? Or did you sell it? Oh, wow. Okay, producer Andy Cohen looked shocked and responded with, okay. On July the 14th of 2025, I gotta go back and watch that. Watch What Happens Live. On July 14th of 2025, Eady informed the public that she would not accept defendant's invitation to return for season 17, noting that I have a lot of healing left to do, but you can't heal in the same place that you get sick in. Later the same day, she further explained that the events of this season have devastated me. Eady declined to pursue appearing on season 17 due to defendants effectively conditioning that employment on working with Moore again, and due to the devastation that she suffered at the hands of the defendant following the salon events. The impacts of the defendant's sexual harassment has been widespread and devastating. Had defendants not engaged in the conduct that they engaged in following the salon event, Eady would have accepted the invitation to return for season 17 and beyond, and would have enjoyed all of the financial and reputational and personal benefits that would have been provided. As a result, Eady suffered significant damage to her brand and earnings potential from endorsements. Although Eady has felt the impact of the defendant's sexual harassment all over the country and especially in her own home base of Atlanta, she has felt a significant impact of that harassment in New York City. Okay, I won't do it. Although Eady has felt the impact, I already read that. As alleged above, certain of the most harassing conduct occurred in person while she was in New York performing her functions as an employee of defendant. Eady's largest following on social media, which she monetizes, is nearly double that of any other geographical region, including Atlanta, is from people based in New York. Eady thus carefully and specifically protects her image and reputation amongst New York audience and regularly seeks efforts to promote herself in the New York City area. However, Eady was deprived of New York and New York City based job opportunities with defendants because she was, or she had she returned, for season 17. Who would have taped additional episodes in New York, including episodes of Watch What Happens Live and season reunion, which had previously been filmed in New York City. Eady was also deprived of other New York City-based opportunities based on, before episode 6 aired, Eady had been in talks with hotels and New York City-based brands and venues about appearances in New York City for financial compensation. Eady had a particular interest in doing New York City-based work because it's a natural place, and its ability to expand her reach and other most popular geographic areas, and because her husband is from New York City. However, in the aftermath of episode 6 airing, Eady was informed that these venues and brands no longer had interest because of the concerns with Eady's image following the salon event, and Eady thus lost opportunities. Now, I don't mind her for coming after losing opportunities. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I don't mind her coming for that reason. In the immediate aftermath of the salon event, Eady experienced several depressive moods and anxiety, and felt as though she was not going to survive what had happened to her. To this day, Eady experiences severe feelings of depression and anxiety as well as insomnia. Eady also fears leaving her house and appearing in public due to the humiliation and trauma that she has experienced. Eady has been unable to receive psychological or psychological help because she experiences severe anxiety about her privacy being violated and worries that if she attempts to receive medical treatment, her private medical information will be revealed to the public and used to further humiliate her. Eady has lost business opportunities due to her depressive symptoms. Eady was now wait a minute. Eady has lost business opportunities because of her depressive symptoms, or did you lose them because of what they did? Okay, anyway. Eady was difficultly getting out of her bed and leaving her house, and has therefore missed meetings and other opportunities for business development. Okay, I'm glad you explained it because I was a little confused. Eady has also suffered reputational harm as a result of her public sexual harassment, which has harmed her personal and business relationship, cost her business opportunities, and resulted in a total loss of privacy of her daily life. All right. So count one, discrimination on the basis of sex and gender. I'm not reading that because I already read y'all the factual allegations. Count two, discrimination on the basis of sex and gender. The first one is for New York. The second one is for Georgia. Oh no, it's for New York as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. Discrimination on the basis of sex and gender, Atlanta Code of Ordinances Art. Okay. Let's see. Then count four. Yeah, I believe we're on four or five. Retaliation in New York. Count six, retaliation in New York. Count seven, retaliation in Atlanta, Georgia. Count seven, breach of contract in New York. Count eight, hell, I don't even remember which one I'm on. 8, 9, whichever one. Breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing in the New York law. Count 8 or 9, whichever one I'm on, negligence in Georgia law. Count 10, intentional affliction of emotional distress, New York and Georgia law combined. Defendants Truly and Bravo. And prayer of relief. Let's get into this. Prayer of relief. Wherefore, Eady prays for relief and demands judgment in her favor on each of her claims against defendant, declaring declaring that the defendant's act alleged herein violated Eady's rights under the laws of the state of New York City, the New York City, and the state of Georgia, and the city of Atlanta. Entering judgment in favor of Eady and other in order that Eady shall recover compensatory damages against each of the defendants jointly and severally to compensate Eady for her economic damages, including back pay and front pay, past, present, and future pain, suffering, and other hardships arising from the defendant's conduct, and punitive damages against each defendant, awarding Eady the cost of the suit herein, including but not limited to attorney fees, granting each other a further relief as the court deems proper. Dated New York, New York, November the 20th of 2025, and her attorney is Benjamin D. White. Y'all, we have literally been up here for 2.5 hours reading this damn lawsuit, and it would have been 3 hours had I read all of the counts against. So, but when we do the counts, it's not necessary to repeat what they have next to the factual allegations. So that's why I skipped past that. But overall, y'all, this was 61 pages, and we didn't read what, maybe 4 pages out of the 61 pages. If she went to counseling, she has a strong case. Defamation requires proof and loss of income. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Do I think that Brit Eady possibly has a case? I do. I do. Now, my opinion on this, is a bit different though, because I do have a lot of questions that need answers. Huh? Yeah. So my opinion on this is just a little bit different. I know that a lot of y'all owe folks an apology that told y'all of some of the stuff that happened. We've also been telling y'all how this stuff works behind the scenes. And one thing I noticed in this lawsuit is that Brit Eady never mentioned what she said to spark up any issue with Kenya. Not that it would make any difference, because I don't really think it would make a difference based off of her talking about the photographs and stuff like that, which again, I don't think it would have made much of a difference, but you should have been a real one and should just went ahead and said what you said and did as well. You know what I'm saying? That I would respect that from you if you was real and been like, hey, leading up to these events, this is what happened. But hey, who are me to tell someone to take accountability, right? What was her business? So she was doing real estate, but then y'all also remember that she was doing insurance. Remember, she was an insurance agent. Remember, she was doing insurance, and she was doing a course. I think she was selling a course for like $400, like $399. She was selling a course for, and people on TikTok and everywhere else was like, "Oh, y'all don't get that course because it's literally a course that you can get on Chat GBT." They kept coming out here talking about that. I don't know if y'all remember that, but yeah. One of her mistakes was not suing Kenya too. That's what I said. Why didn't she sue Kenya? If Kenya was the one who did this, why did she not sue Kenya? And mind you, in the original complaint that never made it past the computer, okay? Never made it past that first initial button press. In that lawsuit, she was suing NBC Universal, she was suing Bravo, she was suing everybody but Kenya. She was even suing Jane Does and John Does on the show, which implicated, if it's a John Doe, you could only be talking about the men that are on the show. I don't recall any men talking about her situation on the show. And then the only person that you could really say that about is Andy, because Andy was asking questions at the reunion. Or, I mean, who would be the John Doe? Unless you're single-handedly trying to come after the people who are employed by the network or the production. So I think a couple things. Like I said, my personal opinion, I feel like she should just take the loss. That's my personal opinion. My other opinion on this is, and it never has changed with Kenya, because I feel like Kenya did not have to do that. Kenya, and I'm gonna say it again, and Teens World not gonna like it, but Kenya is the reason Kenya is in the place that she's in right now. That's on Kenya. Kenya chose to do this. Kenya is a grown woman, and accountability has to come from somewhere at some point, because Kenya still did not have to do that. And clearly, you exposed another woman while trying to expose this woman, right? I don't know how. Again, we read we read the laws for New York and for Georgia at the beginning of the lawsuit. So we also read the clauses that are included in their contract as well. And based off of some of those clauses, that's where I say that Brit Eady may have a little something, something. Because again, based off of those clauses, whether we like her or not, based off of those clauses that are in her contract, Kenya did do what is listed in those contracts as something that should not have been done. So again, I think she should have sued Kenya, but you know, it's a lot also up in here. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel a lot of different ways about it. But did the man in the photo ever come out? No, because his face wasn't shown. I also think she threatened Kay with the whips and pew pew comments. No, she did, but she didn't include that in her or nothing like that. But yeah, she did. And again, based off of them letting Kenya go, and that's probably why she thinks she got another chance because they let Kenya go and not let Brit Eady go when they should have let both of them go as well. Right? I don't know. Kenya would have countered her. Well, if that was necessary, then that was necessary. But I do again think that if she was gonna sue anybody, Kenya should have been on the list for her to sue because Kenya was the one who did the act. I don't know. I don't think Brit is lying about what production made her do either. Now that I don't believe she's lying about because that's how production operates on these shows. They chorus, well, not chorus you, but they try to get you to do certain things on camera. I mean, again, it's a choice, but if you want your job, you're gonna probably do what they ask you to do. Okay. Oh, I gotta see who this is. Okay. But yeah, so listen, y'all. That lawsuit, reading that entire lawsuit, no, it didn't give an amount. It would have been in the prayer of relief part, I think, right? Let's see. Um, Scrolling back up, but no, it doesn't give an amount. I don't think. You know what? Let me scroll back up here to the top because I did see a dollar amount up here at the top. At least I thought I did. Jurisdiction and venue. Or maybe I didn't. Jurisdiction and venue, the amount exceeds 75,000 in between citizens of different states. So I guess that's why it's federal. But no, it doesn't give an amount. Tracy, if you still here, did you see an amount at all? Y'all don't think I seen an amount on here at all. But listen, y'all, I almost been up here for 3 damn hours. Okay, I gotta get some work done. But I wanted to bring this to y'all because it came across my desk yesterday. Someone had texted me and told me, bitch, Brit Eady has finally sued Bravo. And I said, oh, let me go over here and ask. Let me go over here and ask if we can get this lawsuit. So shout out to Tracy. Tracy is dope. I know that Really B is probably gonna read this. There's probably gonna be some other content creators who read this, but I believe y'all heard it first over here, right? Did y'all hear it first over here? AI says 20 million. No, she left it up to the judge. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, I didn't see no amount up in there at all. Um, is this the first place y'all are hearing this hat? Um, you know, again, once I saw it, I said, let me message Tracy. That was at like 1 o'clock this. I was like at 1 o'clock this morning. I said, let me get over here and hurry up and get the copy of this lawsuit so we can go on ahead and read it, child. Cause we got to read it, huh? All right. So with that being said, I have a couple of things I want to say to you guys. No. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you heard it somewhere else. No amount means that they are aiming for the majority for a major payday. Yeah. Okay. I sure did. I messaged Tracy early this morning. I said, "Oh hell no, man, we need this lawsuit. Where's this lawsuit at?" Because I had went to bed early. I got to bed early, and I had woke up to that text. I said, let me get around here and text Tracy so we can get this lawsuit, honey. Y'all know Tracy make sure she get us together with these lawsuits and stuff. So shout out to her. But yeah, listen, y'all are gonna hear it all day today. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure more people will catch hold to this particular lawsuit. But again, like I said, I want to bring it to you guys as an update. And I wish the young lady would have stayed, the one that asked if this was old information. I wish she would have stayed so that I could let her know, you know. Wait a minute. Now my family is in Hawaii, but I see a volcano has erupted in Hawaii. Oh hell no. Wait a minute. Oh hell no. Wait. I just need to know. Uh-uh. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. So wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, my family is in Hawaii. It concerns me just a little bit. Let me see. Wait. Oh my God. Let me see. It was yesterday, so I feel like if they were affected, they would have told me. This happened yesterday. Okay, located in Volcanoes National Park, a massive protected area on a big island of Hawaii, Kalahu, I don't know how to say that, is among the world's most active volcanoes. Okay. I don't know what area this is in. I don't know Hawaii like that, but I'll check it out. Okay, that's kind of crazy though. I'm just not seeing that. Right? If Bay was a jealous man, Chef would have got me cursed out. Listen. Shout out to Bay for not being no jealous man, because I needed that lawsuit, baby. I'm pretty sure you probably heard your phone chiming and dinging in the middle of the night. I said, "Oh, baby, let me send this. Let me send this." I said, "Let me send this, honey, cause we baby, who ain't got no time? It's me." All right. Okay, so y'all, we are $35 away from our goal. As we feed, so we're doing something a little bit different. I know at first we were supposed to feed some families, but I'm going to cook a full-fledged Thanksgiving meal and take it out and feed the homeless. So if you guys would like to donate, you guys can. We need about 35 more dollars to meet our goal. And there are people who've witnessed me being in the grocery store. They witnessed me picking up stuff. I got a trunk full of to-go boxes and silverware with napkins and all of that. I got some waters. I got some pops. I got about 3 turkeys. Well, I'm going to get another one. We'll have 3 turkeys, 3 hams. We're gonna do some dressing, macaroni and cheese, some green beans, homemade yeast rolls, macaroni. I think I already said macaroni and cheese dressing, green beans, candy yams. I want them to get the full fledged thing. I need them to do that. So they're gonna get it. Chef, can you do the cooking on live? Not until like Tuesday or Wednesday. Is that what you're saying? That won't be till like Tuesday or Wednesday when I take them turkeys out and do it. Um, I'll still put out the seasoning suggestions and stuff like that for the turkeys, um and then I will go live to show myself preparing dressing, the turkey, the ham. I will go live and do that. Absolutely. I definitely will do that. Hey Sam's Bay, what's going on? But yeah, I'll still put those seasonings out for you all on my community wall. So that everybody can have like a seasoning to refer to. And by the way, if y'all ain't took them turkeys out and put them in the refrigerator, I don't what y'all must ain't gonna cook till Friday. Hell, take them turkeys out, okay? Especially them bigger turkeys. Y'all should took them turkeys out by Saturday. Is what y'all should have done. But I don't. The turkeys that we have that I got, they are 12 pound, and I think one is 13 pounds and one is like 12 pounds, almost 13 pounds. And it's been in the refrigerator since Saturday. It ain't even all the way thawed out. So that's why I'm saying y'all better thaw them turkeys out, put them in the refrigerator. Do not leave no turkey out to thaw out. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. I think everybody that's cooking a turkey, hopefully you know that. You do not leave the turkey out like you thawing out a pack of ground beef or like you thawing out a pack of chicken. You don't do that. You ain't really supposed to do that anyway. You ain't really supposed to sit your food out like that. You're not supposed to do it. But I know that we do it. We can't be doing that not with no turkey. Okay? You can't do that with a turkey. Put your turkey in the refrigerator and let it thaw out. If it's not thawed out at least 12 to 14 hours prior to you cooking it, you can run some cold water on it, but you're gonna have to change the water every 30 minutes. Okay. I'm just giving y'all some tips for y'all turkey. Okay. And we don't want no dry turkeys, honey. What's up, giving you the real tea? Yeah, this is the official lawsuit. The thing that she filed before, it didn't go nowhere. It didn't go nowhere. She had all these people on it. I think she was just doing it just to, I guess, intimidate the people. I don't know. But it didn't go nowhere. It didn't go nowhere. This one, she specifically only suing Bravo and NBC. I mean, in Bravo and Truly Original. And by the way, the lawsuit is 61 pages. And child, good luck to Brit, Eady. Good luck to you, mama. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I don't even know what to say to you, mama. But good luck to you. Anyway, Tracy, did you answer me? You can answer me in the DMs. You can answer me in the DMs. On what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. Listen, y'all. I hope y'all have a good day, honey. I've been up here way too long. Been up here way too long. She ain't getting a penny. Oh. Well, child, and the amount, we don't know the amount. She wants the judge to assume the amount, and she is requesting a trial by jury. By the way, y'all, I forgot to say that in the beginning. She is requesting a trial by jury. All right. Listen. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a phenomenal and blessed day. I'm sure that I'll be tapping back in with y'all. My workload is so light this week. I did a whole bunch of stuff to get myself prepared for this week yesterday, and so again, I got a light workload this week, so I'll be a little bit more available. All right, so y'all have a great day. Don't let the people get to you. Let's go on and get these 3 days out. Y'all work until Wednesday, or is y'all off on Wednesday? I don't know how that works. For me, I work today, tomorrow. Wednesday, I worked. I don't know. Wednesday. They may not see me Wednesday, but Wednesday I'm supposed to work. Oh no, they gotta see me so I can get paid. I gotta make sure I get that holiday pay. If you don't work on Wednesday or the day after, they won't pay you for the holiday. So therefore, yeah, I'm taking my bald head ass to work. I ain't bald headed, but I am taking my ass to work Wednesday. Okay, I only gotta work half a day, and then I'm off on Thursday. And then back at it on Friday. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.